Dr. Wayne C. Westerman, Senior Engineer of Multi-Touch Gestures and Algorithms, Apple Incorporated. Wayne Westerman graduated valedictorian of his high school in Belton, Missouri, and won a Purdue Presidential Honors. This is the Stephen Beering Full-Ride Scholarship in 1991. He earned his BSEE with highest distinction from Purdue University in 1994 and started grad school at the University of Delaware in 1995 under a National Science Foundation Graduate Fellowship, where he earned his PhD in electrical engineering. As a student at Purdue University, Westerman enjoyed Purdue's Solar Car Club and helped design a large, robust solar array for Purdue's 1993 Sunrays entry. As a junior, he began undergraduate research in neuromorphic systems under the tutelage of VC professor Neil Gallagher. Westerman's tinkering with ergonomic input devices serendipitously combined with advisor John Elias's neuromorphic systems expertise for an exploration of typing and gesture on multi-finger, capacitive, touch-sensitive surfaces that anticipated today's iPad. In 1999, Westerman and Elias founded Fingerworks, a startup that produced a line of zero-force trackpads and keyboards with integrated gesture shortcuts. Fingerworks attracted a loyal community of customers who could once again use a computer pain-free. Apple acquired Fingerworks and its founders in 2005 as part of its quest to deliver the iPhone and iPad. Westerman has been granted more than a dozen U.S. patents on multi-touch. Dr. Westerman, on behalf of the faculty, I am pleased to present you with the Outstanding Electrical and Computer Engineer Award. Congratulations.
I would like to thank the department for inviting me here for this honor. I'd like to remember some of my most influential professors, Dr. Neil Gallagher, who went on to mentor me at University of Delaware as well, and he was my undergraduate research advisor. David Janes in electromagnetics. I got mixed up on the time of one of his exams, like you all having that dream, and showed up a half hour late, but he let me finish the exam. And I'd like to thank Jeff Gray for his work in organizing the Solar Car Club, because I really learned a lot in that experience and tinkering. And I thank my benefactors for the Stephen C. Beering Fellowship, because I'm glad to see universities doing so much to encourage entrepreneurship, and one of the indirect things is if you give a student a full ride scholarship and they graduate and they want to start a small company in a garage startup, they're not saddled with $100,000 of debt out of the gate. And I think that was extremely helpful for me to be able to start a company right out of grad school and not have to worry about that. So I was thinking about, last summer I found a tape of me making, I videotaped myself making one of my first inventions in Hillebrand or Harrison Hall. I put little rollers on an ergonomic keyboard, and they're sort of rollers like you find on the mouse today. But it wasn't really common back then, and I'd added inertia to them. And I did this tinkering in Harrison Hall, and it wasn't patentable at the time, but you all notice now that your iPhones all have this inertia when you flick your finger, and they even have little dials when you set the alarm, you're flicking a dial around. So that's sort of an example of ideas that, they start out very premature, and it doesn't make any sense to put a big mechanical roller on an iPhone. That would be silly, but all sorts of things that they percolate around for years until you find the right place to put them, a really simple way to apply it. And another thing I've been thinking about lately is how working in industry, trying to create cutting-edge products, what seems to make the difference over and over again is getting at the root of the problem, Are you solving the right problem? And what I do is we learn lots of fancy techniques in electrical engineering for solving problems. And when you bring in someone green, they want to pull the fanciest technique they can out of the textbook or their academic research line, but a lot of times, the product innovation seems like it's finding the simplest way to solve the problem and really thinking hard. And that's another part of creativity that you get more in the industrial environment than academic. Again, I want to thank you all for inviting me here, and it's a real honor and a pleasure to be back here after so many years away. Thank you.